everybody, Spiral here. I'm back. I kicked COVID's ass after it kicked mine, and I'm looking to just talk about some cool stuff that I think is fun today. Namely, it's the middle of August when I'm recording this, and there's something about the middle of August, these dog days of summer, that just makes me really just yearn to play beach levels in video games. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's something in my history. Maybe we'll dig into that a little bit today. But come with me. I just want to kind of talk about beach levels for a little bit. So given the fact that I'm from Florida, which is, as you may know, a land of perpetual summer, and the fact that I live a pretty negligible distance from the beach, I spent a lot of time in my life at the beach growing up and still to this day. And taken piecemeal to me, there's not much for me to really like about the beach. The sun is too hot, the sand is gross and gets everywhere, and the salt leaves your skin sticky and nasty, and I hate that feeling. But taken as a collective, there's something magical about a day at the beach. Food seems to taste better, the days just seem to last a little longer, and more tedious things like playing catch or exercise just are more fun in general. It really just seems to lighten the atmosphere of life up a little bit. And that's the great part about beach levels. You get all of that experience of a day at the beach without any of the downsides. They're usually used as a time for the game to slow down a little bit, have a little fun, and decompress from what's probably been a pretty stressful situation. And I, for one, live for these moments in storytelling. They're just incredible. The first thing that immediately comes to mind when I say beach level is Final Fantasy. And I know not every game has the beach level, but when I was growing up playing Final Fantasy, the PS1, PS2 era, they were everywhere. The two prime examples I can think of this are Costa del Sol from FF7 and Besaid Island in FF10. I also want to give a special mention to Costa del Sol in Final Fantasy XIV as well. Just spent so much time there. But taking place after sneaking through a Shinra base and being sent forward in time respectively, these were much needed breaks in the action of the early game of these seminal RPG. Costa del Sol is a relaxed little resort town with beachgoers and people just looking to have a good time around every corner. It presents more of our modern idea of a beach level. Fun in the sun with beautiful people in a beautiful place, everyone just looking to try and relax. You even see some of the Shinra guys there who are just on vacation and not trying to get you right now. And while Costa del Sol is great and was a beautiful little distraction in what is otherwise an amazing game, to me it doesn't hold a candle to Besaid Island. It's a secluded little shore in nature, a place where the residents of Besaid Island just live in peace and harmony with the island and try to get by as best they can with each other. The first time swimming through the canals, finding all sorts of hidden lagoons, all sorts of wrecks and ruins at the bottom of these azure canals was transformative for me, if I'm being honest. I'm pretty sure it's where my love for beach levels started in general, and given the fact that Tidus had been through so much crap at that point, I think it was worth it. Actually, come to think of it, I think the whole of Final Fantasy X is a beach level, and maybe that's why I like 10 so much. I think that might deserve its own video. I don't know. But apart from the narrative device that is a beach level, there's something just so soothing about the atmosphere that these levels present. When games combine the recognized symbol of the tropics with things like instrumentation that one would generally associate with a day at the beach, it becomes a glorious melding of atmosphere. And I think in terms of nailing the visual aesthetics of a beach, not many do it better than 3D Mario games. Except for Super Mario 64, there's not really like a beachy level in there. Kinda tiny, huge island, I guess. There's a lot of water. Jolly Roger Bay, maybe. But I guess there's a little bit of a beach, but it's not a beach level. You know what I'm talking about. But I mean, the entirety of Super Mario Sunshine, the Beach Bowl Galaxy, and the Sea Slide Galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 1, Starshine Beach in Galaxy 2, and the Seaside Kingdom in Odyssey are all just linked with that part of my brain that screams for a beach trip. And I think Super Mario Sunshine deserves special praise when it comes to this. And while it may be the black sheep of the 3D games, I mean CDI games notwithstanding, it is undoubtedly my favorite Super Mario game, and one that I turn to summer and summer again every time that thermostat starts ticking 90 degrees outside. I think what Sunshine does so well is it really nails a cohesive, summery, and beachy atmosphere. One of the coolest parts about Super Mario games is how diverse each game is. 3D Mario levels in general all have a different atmosphere, theme, maybe mechanics that it's trying to impart upon you so you can navigate your way through the level. And while this is fun and a good way to keep the audience engaged from moment to moment, there is a bit of a depth problem here that doesn't necessarily get explored. Worlds like Tiny Huge Island from Super Mario 64 or maybe the Sling Pod Galaxy from Galaxy all have really cool and interesting mechanics and aesthetics that aren't necessarily explored once you leave that level. And this is why Sunshine will always be one of my favorites. The whole game is built around two specific concepts. The first being, of course, mechanically the flood, But secondarily, and maybe even primarily, is the atmosphere, the setting. Delfino Isle itself plays such a major role in that game that it almost overtakes the mechanics themselves. Down to its building blocks, the game is built to elicit the vibrance and fun of a summer day at the beach. And it does this mainly through its visual aesthetic. I mean, think about it. The palm trees growing in the sand, bearing fruit, right next to the most gorgeous aquamarine waters that I think has ever been coated by human hands. As a quick side note, I want to give some love to the GameCube for maybe some of the most beautiful water in any video game system. Given the fact that Super Mario Sunshine doesn't really have worlds per se, but more so iterations on a different theme, give the whole game a very cohesive feel. For example, I believe that each level is representative of something that someone might encounter and relate to during their childhood summers. Bianco Hills is running through the sprinklers outside on a hot summer day. Pinna Park is that middle of the summer amusement park trip that you take with your family. And Sirena Beach is that late afternoon beach trip where the sun's going down, everyone's tired, and you need to go home, but you can't drag yourself away from the scene. It's this focus on cohesion of atmosphere that makes Super Mario Sunshine such a quintessential summer beach game for me. But there is a neglected portion of the equation that is beach level that I have not talked about so far, and that is music. I think I claimed in one of my earlier videos, but just in case I didn't, I'm going to do it now. I know nothing about the technicalities of music. I don't know why certain notes elicit certain feelings, or what you can change with music to change how I feel about it, but all I do know is how each song, each note, each instrument makes me feel, and that's what I'm here to talk about today. So, seeing as I have no clue to the technicalities, I'm just going to take a moment to talk about some of my favorite songs from beach levels. Enjoy. To get the obvious one out of the way, the undisputed king of beach music is Nintendo. They almost never miss whenever they have a beach level. It's almost like they have the perfect formula of instruments, tempos, beats, and all that stuff to make you yearn for a beach trip. The steel drums of the aforementioned Delfino Plaza, the high whistling melodies of the Wind Waker main theme, and basically the Mario Golf OSTs, all of them are perfect examples of this. They use acoustic guitars in songs like Bubbling from Super Mario Odyssey. And a judicious use of harps and pianos to sell that aquatic vibe that some of these levels need. There is one small thing that I think is often overlooked in terms of Nintendo's beach summer music. They use a lot of naturalistic sounds, like birds chirping and stuff like that, to really give you the feeling that you are outside, even though you're probably sitting in a dark room in the air conditioning with the TV on. It's beautiful. I love it. It's great. And while Nintendo may be the best, that doesn't mean there aren't other competitors out there. The Outrun 2 Coast to Coast OST, basically all of it, is incredible. It brings a Miami Vice-y vibe with a lot of electric guitars and basically getting the listener to feel like they're on the beach in Miami in the 1980s. It's great. And Square does really well in its own right. Kingdom Hearts 1's Destiny Islands will probably forever be my favorite summer song, and nothing can ever change that. I do want to give a special mention to Final Fantasy 15. I know that game was a mess. I actually really love it. I understand. But Golden Key is a perfect song. It's beautiful. I could just spend hours there. actually like a lot of these songs so much, I kind of made my own little summer video game music compilation. You'll find it down in the description, and go check it out. Give it a listen if you're feeling a bit summery at work or something like that. There's something just so beautiful and nostalgic to me about a beach level when it's 90 degrees outside and my AC is cranked all the way down to 70. And I know that's counterintuitive, it doesn't make any sense. Why would I pretend to be at the beach when I could be at the beach in a matter of minutes, honestly? I don't really have a good explanation. It's just something that tickles a part of my brain that I love. And I know I've brushed over a lot of bigger stuff here, but tell me about it in the comments. If you think there's some cool stuff that I should have talked about or should talk about in a follow-up video, comment it. Let me know. Throw a subboy down there. That'd be pretty cool. Either way, I hope you guys have enjoyed watching. I'll be back soon, hopefully. Doing better so far. This will be 2 videos in a relatively quick span, which is better for me. Either way, enjoy the rest of your summer. I'd probably make one of these for fall levels if I'm being honest, so look forward to that. Either way, thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your time. Sincerely, your friend Spiral. I use the word fucking judicious in my script, and I can't say the word.
What the fuck am I doing?